I knew something was wrong the moment the glass shattered. The sharp crack echoed through the marble hall, and I jerked awake from my daydream like someone had yanked me out of another world. I was only 8, standing beside my mom during her evening shift at the most expensive Korean restaurant in New York. One moment, everything was calm, full of soft music and people in elegant clothes. The next moment, every eye in the room turned toward me. I froze beside the overturned serving tray, my heart jumping into my throat. My mom rushed to my side before I could even bend down. She whispered that it was okay, but I could hear the fear in her voice. She always tried to hide it from me, but I noticed everything. We only had $17 left that morning. She took me to work because she had no choice. And now I had dropped a glass in the middle of a fancy gala full of powerful strangers. Then, a deep voice cut through the room, and the whispering stopped. "It's just a glass," the man said. "The world isn't ending." When I looked up, I saw him for the first time. Alex Stone. Tall, sharp suit, sharp eyes, calm in a way that made everyone else hold their breath. My mom's hand trembled as she cleaned the floor. She didn't look at him directly, but I did. I had heard people whisper about him before, in every language. They all knew his name. Some even feared it. My strange ability worked like a second heartbeat. I heard everything around me, as if every language was English. Korean, Russian, Italian, it didn't matter. They all fell neatly into my mind, like puzzle pieces snapping into place. I never told anyone, not even my mom. People feared what they didn't understand. And tonight, something in the air felt dangerous. 3 Korean men in charcoal suits sat in a corner booth, speaking softly. Their voices reached me even through the noise. When their words formed in my mind, my stomach twisted. 8 minutes until the toast. Champagne is ready. After Stone falls, we start phase 2. A cold shiver crawled up my spine. No one else noticed the smallest man touch his jacket, exactly where a weapon would hide. I wanted to pull my mom away, but she was already walking back into the crowd with a tray of champagne flutes. She didn't hear the countdown. She didn't see the danger creeping closer. I stood at the kitchen entrance, trying to breathe as the minutes ticked by. 7 minutes. 6. 5. Stone walked through the room with the confidence of someone who controlled every corner he stepped into. But he didn't know what I knew. He didn't hear what I heard. My mom placed a tray on the main table, and my chest tightened when I saw it, the one glass with a tiny blue dot on the base. Almost too small to notice, except the men in the corner were watching it, waiting for him to pick it up. 3 minutes. People around me were laughing and talking, but their voices blurred under the sound of Korean whispers sliding cleanly into my mind. I wanted to run to my mom and tell her everything, but she was working. If I caused another scene, we could lose everything. She would get fired. We might lose our apartment. 1 minute. My heart hammered so loud, I thought the whole room could hear it. Stone walked toward the head table. The chandelier lights sparkled across the crystal glasses. His glass. The poisoned one. 30 seconds. My breath shook as I stepped forward, then faster, then running. I slipped through gaps between adults, weaving through gowns and tuxedos before anyone could notice me. The 3 Korean men stiffened. One of them muttered something fast and sharp. "Now!" Stone reached out, fingers brushing the rim of the glass, and I jumped. I slammed into his legs with every ounce of strength my small body held. The crowd gasped as we hit the floor. The crystal flute fell from his hand and exploded across the marble. People screamed. Security rushed forward. My mom cried out my name. But Stone didn't look confused. He didn't even look angry. He looked at the 3 Koreans. And they looked back with the eyes of men whose plan had just been destroyed. "Secure them," Stone ordered, his voice calm but deadly. Gunshots exploded behind us as his bodyguards moved. My mom grabbed me, dragging me toward the service corridor with trembling arms. I pressed my face into her side, gasping out the truth before fear closed my throat. "They were going to kill him," I whispered. When Stone appeared before us moments later, the world felt like it had changed forever. He crouched down, eye level with me, his gaze sharp and unreadable. "How did you know?" he asked. I looked at my mom. She was pale, terrified, and clueless about what I could really do. I had kept this secret my whole life, but tonight the truth slipped out. "I hear all languages like they're English," I whispered. "They said the champagne was poisoned. You had 8 minutes left." Quote, Stone stared at me like he had never seen anything like me before, and in that moment, my life, and my mother's, shifted into a world we never imagined. Stone's eyes locked onto mine with a force that made my legs shake. I felt like he could see straight into my thoughts, into the part of me I had kept hidden from everyone. My mom pulled me tighter against her side, trying to shield me from him, from the gunshots still echoing in the distance, from a world she never wanted me to know existed. "He's just a child," she whispered. "Please don't be angry. He didn't mean to cause trouble." Stone didn't even blink. He studied me calmly, like he was trying to understand something impossible. Then he stood and gave an order that made every muscle in my body tense. "You're coming with me." My mom froze. "We can't. We have a home. We have a life. He has school." Stone stepped closer. His voice lowered, but it held the kind of weight that left no room for argument. "Your faces are already known. When those men talk, others will come. And they will not stop. They won't just come for me, they'll come for him." My mom's breath hitched. I felt her panic through the grip of her hand. His security team moved around us with silent precision. One of them lifted me gently, as if I weighed nothing, and carried me through the back halls. My mom stayed right beside me, her hand never leaving my arm. The restaurant faded behind us as Stone led us out into the cold night. When the black Bentley pulled up, I swallowed hard. I had seen this car once before on the street. People whispered stories about the man who rode in it. Now I was climbing inside. The door closed with a heavy thud. The city lights blurred outside the tinted windows as we pulled away. My mom stared at her hands, still shaking, her uniform stained with spilled champagne. I leaned against her, trying to understand how our whole world had changed in 1 hour. Stone sat across from us, watching quietly. His presence filled the car like a storm cloud. "You heard everything they said," he finally stated. I nodded. "In every language. And you understood it?" My mom looked between us, confusion tightening her expression. "Leo only speaks English," she insisted. "He's just gifted with, I don't know, intuition." "No," Stone corrected softly. "It's more than that." The hum of the engine filled the silence while he studied me like I was something new to him, something rare. "People kill for abilities like his," Stone said. "People kill to protect them, and people kill to steal them." My mom sucked in a sharp breath. The Bentley turned through iron gates that opened automatically. Tall trees rose like dark guardians on either side of the long driveway. The mansion came into view, lit by soft golden lights. It didn't look like a home, it looked like a fortress. We stepped inside. Marble floors, high ceilings, paintings worth more than anything my mom had ever owned. The housekeeper led us through hallways with warm lighting and thick carpets that softened every step. "This wing is yours," Stone said. "You'll be safe here." Safe. The word felt unreal. As we settled into the guest rooms, my mind buzzed with voices. Russian from the guards outside, Spanish from the kitchen staff, Italian from Stone as he barked into his phone. I felt all of it press into my thoughts, as clear as if they were speaking English right beside me. Hours passed before Stone returned to check on us. My mom sat across from him in his private study, exhaustion heavy on her face while I curled up on a couch nearby, pretending not to listen. "Why help us?" she asked him quietly. "You could have taken Leo alone." Stone poured 2 glasses of amber liquid, though my mom didn't touch hers. He stared at the drink for a long moment before speaking. "When I was 8, he said, I watched my father die at a gala almost identical to tonight, poisoned champagne." My mom's eyes softened with sympathy. Stone continued, voice lower now. "I didn't save him. No one did. Your son saved me. I owe him, and you, more than you understand." I felt my chest tighten. No one had ever said something like that to us. Ever. My mom tried to speak, but a voice rang out behind us. "There's a bounty on us," I whispered from the doorway. They both turned. I stepped forward, hands trembling. I heard someone on the phone, I said. They said the Ghost Dragons are offering $10 million for information about us. My mom's face went pale. Stone's entire expression changed. The calm in his eyes sharpened into something dangerous, cold, and final. "Hector," he said into his phone, "activate the Eastern Security Team now." His gaze shifted back to us, softer again but no less serious. "You're not safe here anymore." My mom swallowed. "Then where do we go?" Quote. Stone turned toward a hidden panel that slid open to reveal stairs descending into darkness. "A place no one knows about," he said. "A place built to hide the things I value most." He looked at me, and in that moment I realized he wasn't just protecting us anymore. He had claimed us. The hidden stairway felt like another world. Cold air rose from the tunnel below, brushing across my skin as if warning me that nothing about our lives would ever be normal again. My mom held my hand so tightly it almost hurt, but I didn't pull away. I needed her grip as much as she needed mine. Stone led the way with a flashlight, his steps slow and steady. The tunnel stretched far beneath the mansion, lined with old brick and steel beams that echoed with every footstep. "My father built these during Prohibition," Stone said, "back when hiding was part of survival." Hector followed behind us, silent and alert, his hand always near his holster. I could hear voices above us, Russian from the security team scrambling through the house, Chinese from someone reporting our escape route, Italian from Stone's second-in-command demanding updates. All of it filled my mind at once. "They're searching the East Corridor," I whispered. Stone didn't stop walking. "How many?" "6, I said. 3 speaking Russian, 3 speaking Chinese. They think we went upstairs." Stone nodded once. "Good, let them think that." We reached a heavy steel door. Hector punched in a long code, and the lock clicked open. Beyond it was a garage filled with black SUVs, armored trucks, and shelves of equipment I didn't recognize. "Get in," Stone ordered. The armored Range Rover roared to life. As Hector drove us through another tunnel that led out onto a hidden back road, explosions sounded in the distance, 3 deep booms that shook the ground beneath us. My mom gasped. "What was that?" "Controlled charges," Stone answered calmly. "Part of the misdirection. They'll think we died in the blast." My heart thumped hard. The idea of us dying, even as a lie, made my skin prickle. The ride out of Manhattan felt endless. Bridges, tolls, back roads, small towns with glowing diner signs. Hours passed, and the city lights faded behind us like a dream we'd never return to. When we finally reached the Adirondacks, the forest rose around us like a wall. The trees were tall and dark, almost ancient. The cabin stood near a quiet lake, big and rustic, with stone walls and wooden beams. "This was my father's hunting lodge," Stone said. "Secure, remote, safe." For the first time since the restaurant, I felt my chest loosen a little. Inside, the lodge was warm. A fire crackled in the huge stone fireplace. The kitchen smelled like cedar and old memories. My mom helped me take off my coat, her hands still trembling. Stone watched us quietly, his expression softer than I expected from a man everyone feared. 3 days, he said. We lay low. Then we reassess. Quote, "Those 3 days changed everything. Stone wasn't just a mafia boss here. He built fires, cooked with my mom in the kitchen, and taught me how to fish in the lake behind the lodge." He held the fishing rod with steady patience as I tangled the line again and again. My mom watched us from the shore, her eyes soft in a way I hadn't seen in years. "You're good with him," she told Stone one evening. He didn't look away from me as he answered. "He reminds me of myself, before everything changed." That night we sat by the fire, my mom curled up in a blanket, me leaning against her. Stone sat across from us, studying the flames. "I don't want him to grow up like I did," Stone said quietly, always looking over his shoulder. My mom's voice softened. "He deserves better than that." I felt something shift between them, something warm, something careful, something that didn't feel like fear. But everything changed again on the 4th morning. Stone's satellite phone buzzed. Hector answered, listening for only a second before his posture stiffened. "Ghost Dragon representatives want a meeting," he said. "They claim they weren't responsible for the poison." Stone exhaled slowly, thinking, "A trap." "Maybe," Hector agreed, "but they have information." My mom's hand tightened around my arm. "You're not taking him." "I wasn't planning to," Stone said gently, "but I stepped forward anyway. I need to hear what they say." I told him, "I'll know if they're lying." My mom shook her head immediately, eyes wide with fear. "No, absolutely not. He's a child." Stone surprised us both. He knelt down, meeting my mother's eyes instead of mine. "He stays hidden," Stone said, "guarded, completely safe, but his ability may save all of us." Her breath shook. She looked at me, I looked at her. And slowly, painfully, she nodded. The meeting was set in an abandoned limestone quarry outside Buffalo. Stone arranged everything with the precision of someone preparing for war. Hector escorted us to a small maintenance shed overlooking the quarry. I hid inside with my mom, while Stone met the ghost dragons at the center of the pit. The acoustics of the quarry carried every whisper to me. "They're telling the truth," I whispered to Hector after listening. "They didn't plan the poison." My mom looked surprised, hopeful, but then something shifted in the tone of the Koreans' voices. A sharp urgency crawled up my spine. "They're lying now," I said. "Stone is in danger." Hector's eyes narrowed. "How?" "There's a second team," I whispered. "Snipers. They're counting down. 10 seconds. My breath caught as I heard the Korean sniper whisper, "1. "Hector!" I gasped. "Tell him!" Hector grabbed his mic and shouted the warning. Stone dove behind a concrete barrier as bullets cracked through the quarry air. Chaos exploded below us. Gunfire echoed off the stone walls. The ghost dragons scattered. Stone's men returned fire with precision and power. My mom held me against her chest. I could feel her heartbeat pounding fast and terrified. Hours later, after the battle ended and we reached a safe house, Stone came to us with dust on his suit and a tightness in his jaw. "It was a trap," he said. "But thanks to Leo, we survived." And then something happened that changed everything again. "We captured one of their lieutenants." Stone's voice lowered. "And he says the real mastermind isn't Ghost Dragon, it's someone else." The room went silent. "The professor," Stone said. "Someone who wants both crime families destroyed." I swallowed hard, heat prickling my skin. Then I whispered the truth that made Stone freeze. "The professor is a woman." Stone turned slowly toward me. Everything shifted again. When I told Stone the professor was a woman, the entire room fell silent. His eyes locked onto mine, with a sharpness I had never seen before. My mom froze beside me, her hand tightening around my shoulder. "A woman," Stone repeated. "How do you know?" "The lieutenant slipped," I said. "He used a Korean pronoun that only applies to women." The translator didn't catch it. Stone didn't move for a full 5 seconds. Then he slowly sat down, hands folded, mind racing. Only one person came to my mind. Alexis Kwan. Stone pulled a thin file from the table, the edges worn from years of being kept close. The photo showed a woman with perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect posture, but her eyes were calculating, cold, intelligent. "My father's goddaughter," Stone said quietly, "raised in my home, brilliant, resentful, always wanted a seat at the table, but she wasn't chosen." "She speaks 7 languages," I whispered. "That matches what the lieutenant said." Stone closed the file with a soft thud. A decision had been made in that moment. We find her. The next 2 days were a blur of strategy meetings, coded messages, and satellite calls. Stone moved through it all with a calm intensity that made everyone around him sharper, more alert. My mom and I stayed close, guarded by Hector and 2 more of Stone's most trusted men. At night, Stone sat with us by the fire, looking less like a mafia boss and more like a tired man carrying the weight of 2 families, his own and the one he'd pulled us into. The confrontation finally came at an exclusive women's spa in the Catskills. It was quiet, elegant, peaceful, and the perfect place for Alexis to hide while directing a war. Stone didn't take me. My mom insisted, and to my surprise, he agreed without argument. "You're a child," he told me gently. "You shouldn't have to hear what she'll say." He left with Hector and 2 teams, each one moving like shadows. The hours dragged on until the sun dipped low behind the mountains. When Stone returned, he looked different. Not bloody, not shaken, just heavier. "You didn't kill her," my mom said softly. "No," Stone answered, "but she won't be free again." He didn't explain more, and we didn't ask. All I knew was that Alexis, the person who had tried to end all our lives, was gone from the world in a way that felt final. 3 weeks later, our new life began. A beautiful colonial home in Connecticut. Sunlight through tall windows. A neighborhood so peaceful it felt unreal. My mom stood in the kitchen with new documents spread out on the counter. New identities, new jobs, new chances. "This is really ours?" she whispered. "For as long as you wanted," Stone said. He visited often. Sometimes for dinner. Sometimes for weekends. Sometimes just to check on me after school. At first he brought guards, then fewer, then none at all. Because he wasn't just protecting us anymore, he was becoming part of us. My mom started smiling again. Real smiles. Not the tired ones she used to wear at the restaurant. Stone noticed every one of them. He noticed everything about her. One evening, after they washed dishes together, he spoke softly. "You remind me there are lives outside of mine. Lives worth choosing." And she answered with something even softer. "You're not the man people say you are." Not anymore. Their first kiss happened quietly, with me pretending not to notice even though I heard everything. The way their voices softened, the change in their breathing, the moment their fear turned into something warmer. That kiss changed all of us. Stone became part of our days, part of our weekends, part of our family. He taught me chess and strategy, math and logic, fishing and patience. He taught my mom how to trust again. He even learned how to cook one of my favorite meals after accidentally burning the first 2 and cursing softly in 3 languages. Every part of our new life felt like a miracle. Until the silver sedan appeared. I noticed it first on a quiet autumn morning. It parked on our street for too long. Returned the next afternoon. And the next. The driver never stepped out, never looked up, just waited. "Mom," I said at breakfast, "someone's watching our house." She froze. The old fear returned. I opened the drawer, pulled out the secure phone Stone had given her, and handed it to her. "Call him," I said. "Now." Stone arrived that evening, quiet and controlled, but with a tension in his jaw I hadn't seen since New York. "They're looking for you," he told us. Alexis had contingency plans. People still loyal to her. They think Leo is the key to rebuilding her network. My mom's voice cracked. "Do we run again?" Stone reached out and took her hand. Something he'd never done in front of me before. "No," he said. "This time, we finish it. Permanently." Quote. That final confrontation unfolded with more precision than anything before. Montana. Hidden bunkers. False trails. Teams on 3 continents. And me, listening from safe rooms, catching lies in Russian, Korean, Spanish, languages I never studied but understood better than native speakers. In the end, Alexis's cousin fell into the trap Stone said. And Alexis's final team, the one she hoped would take me, was stopped before they reached our neighborhood. When the dust settled, Stone stood in a quiet room with one last decision to make. My mom watched him carefully. "You're not the man you were when we met," she told him. "Do what the man you've become would do." He chose containment, not death. A lifetime of it. Far away, under supervision that would never fail. Peace returned slowly. Months passed. My mom managed the upscale restaurant. Stone helped her start. I excelled in school. Stone visited often. Sometimes he stayed for days. His meetings shifted more toward legitimate business. Shipping, real estate, tech. His world was changing because ours had changed him. On my 13th birthday, as we sat by the lake behind our home, I asked him the question I had been carrying for months. "Is it really over?" He didn't lie. He never did. "The danger Alexis created is over," he said, "and the rest, we'll face it together." My mom slipped her hand into his. He rested his other hand on my shoulder, and in that moment, I knew the truth. I didn't just save his life in that restaurant. He saved ours forever.